Evening. You are welcome in the zoology genetics class organized by Jan Vikas Mahasabha and Society of Career Technology. Today we will talk about genetics. Genetics is the study of heredity and variation. Heredity is transmission of characters from parents to their offspring, sons and daughters, and variation is difference in between different individuals of the same species. It was discovered by Gregor Johann Mendel. He is called father of genetics. Gregor Johann Mendel was born in 1822 and later on he was a monk in a monastery of Brunn, which was in Czechoslovakia in Austria. He worked for 8 years in a church garden and performed some very interesting experiments. On the basis of those experiments, he derived some conclusions and wrote a paper which was sent for publication in Proceedings of the Royal Society of London in 1865, and it was published in 1866. Although it was a nice piece of work, but at that time people were very much amused by the work of Charles Darwin about origin of species, so nobody took a cognizance of Mendel's work. In 1902, three different scientists from three different countries performed similar experiments and they obtained similar results. Later on, they got the article written by Gregor Johann Mendel some 36 years ago, and they reached to the conclusion that whatever they were going to say was already said by Gregor Johann Mendel in 36 years ago. So all over world persons came to know about the laws of genetics. The article of Gregor Johann Mendel is on certain experiments on plant hybridization. Actually, Mendel had not given any law. The 2 or 3 laws were actually formulated by Correns. So we should say this. The 3 laws of inheritance by Mendel and Correns. All work of Mendel was based on logic, and we can appreciate it only if we put it in that circumstances when we did not know anything about genetics. He worked on pea plant, which botanical name is Pisum sativum. 34 varieties of seeds were available at that time in the market, out of which Mendel performed experiments on 14 traits in detail for 8 years. In the beginning, he observed 7 traits, 7 characters in detail, which was flower color, which was either of red purple type or of white type. Then second character was seed color, which was yellow or green. Third, seed shape, which was round or wrinkled. Fourth, pod color, which was either green or yellow. Pod shape was either inflated or constricted. And sixth, position of inflorescence, means the bunch of flowers in the axillary position or in the terminal position. And the plant height, some plants were tall, 1 meter long, and others were dwarf, which were only 1 feet long. He performed in pea plant, actually self-pollination takes place. in which pollen grains of the same flower fall on the ovule of the same flower, and a seed or fruit develops. For each trait, for the length of plant character, there were two traits, some were tall and some were dwarf. Mendel observed that when self-pollination was done in the dwarf plants, all the offsprings were dwarf. Again, self-pollination in the third generation, again all the plants were dwarf. It was simple. In case of tall plants also, generally all their sons and daughters were tall, and their granddaughters were again all tall. But Mendel observed that sometimes tall plants, when self-pollinated, gave some tall plants and some dwarf plants. What does it mean? It means that in this tall plant, something is there which decide tallness and dwarfness. So Mendel derived a conclusion that in every organism, one pair of something is found. What is that something? He did not clarify. But he said that, well, in every organism, all animals and plants, one pair something is found, which he termed factors. And for that, he said that out of one pair of factors, one is obtained from mother and one factor is obtained from father. These factors control the body characters. Later on, after Mendel's death, it was known that these factors are actually the genes, and they control the characters by controlling synthesis of proteins. Different characters are due to different types of proteins, which are polymers of 20 types of amino acids. And he used some technical terms. In 1911, Johansson said phenotype and genotype. Genotype is the term for genetic constitution, and phenotype for the visible characteristic shown by the individual. And when we talk about more than one individual, their genotype is of more than one individuals. The ratio of genotype is called genotypic ratio, and the ratio of phenotype is called phenotypic ratio. Mendel also used the term homozygous and heterozygous. Homozygous, when both factors are of the same type. For example, capital T, or small t. And another term he used was heterozygous, in which both factors were of opposite type. For example, one was capital T, other small t. Mendel used one more term, alleles. Alleles are the variable or forms of a character. For example, when we talk about length of the plant, which was of two types, tall and dwarf. So tall and dwarf make a pair of alleles or allelomorphic pairs. Similarly, for flower color may be red or white. So red color and white color both together make another allelomorphic pair or pair of alleles. Later on, a definition was given that alleles are those genes which are found at the same locus or point of chromosomes. With this background of technical terms, let us come to the three laws given by Mendel and Correns. So, some of the authors write in their books three laws of inheritance by Mendel: law of dominance, law of segregation, and law of independent assortment. Whereas some other authors write in their book only two laws: one, the law of segregation, and second, the law of independent assortment. Actually, the original paper of Mendel has been given in a book, Principles of Genetics, written by Sinnett, Dunn and Dobzhansky. And when I studied that original paper, I came to know that Mendel had not given any law. I don't know why the books have not yet mentioned this all over India. The 3 laws which are given in the books was actually given by Correns. So there is no controversy whether there were 2 laws or 3 laws. Actually, Mendel had simply explained his experiment. The paper was certain experiments in plant hybridization. I don't know, I have not yet received it. The original paper of Correns, Deverage and Schermark of 1902. But it is established fact that the 3 laws were not given by Gregor Johann Mendel. Mendel has given the principle, the circumstances, the happenings, that this way inheritance takes place. But he had not given any law. The laws were given by Correns. So let us come to these laws. The first law is law of dominance. In first experiment, Mendel performed a cross-pollination between a tall plant and dwarf plant parents. In F1 generation, all plants were tall. Then, when he performed self-cross in between tall plants of F1 generation, then in F2 generation, in a 3:1 ratio, 787 tall plants and 277 dwarf plants were obtained. If we consider this much, here we say, get that here factor for tallness and dwarfness both are present, but the external appearance is only tall. So Mendel explained it that whenever factors for both contrasting characters are present together, only one of them expresses it and is called dominant character and is represented by a capital letter. The other character which is not expressed is called a recessive character and it is depicted by a small letter. Now the second thing, the most interesting thing of this whole event is that how these parents, which both were tall, and in next generation some dwarf plants were obtained. This was explained by Mendel in this way, that the tall plant contained 2 factors for tallness, dwarf plant also contained 2 factors for dwarfness. In F1 generation, both capital T and small t factors were brought together. And here, although both factors were present together, but only capital T expressed its presence, it was called dominant character. The recessive character was depicted by small t, it was not depicted. But the factor for recessive character was present already. He explained this in this fashion, that in F2 generation, 25% individuals are dwarf. And for dwarfness, both factors for dwarfness should be there, according to law of dominance. How can we explain this? Both parents are tall. They are heterozygous. The occurrence of recessive character in 25% individuals of F2 generation can only be explained if we consider that during gamete formation the 2 factors separate from each other. And this way he said that, well, they separate from each other. There are 4 possibilities. Either both dominant factors can come together, one dominant factor and one recessive factor can come together. This factor may combine with this to form. So tall and dwarf plants are obtained in 3:1 ratio. From this explanation, Mendel derived the conclusion that during gamete formation the factors separate from each other. And this was the second or first law. some of these workers say that law of dominance is already included in law of segregation, so it's all okay. Now let us come to when we consider behavior of one pair of factors, it is called a monohybrid cross. When we consider behavior of two pairs of factors, it is called a dihybrid cross. Now let us see what happens when we consider two pairs of factors together, which is called dihybrid cross. The third experiment, Mendel considered two pair of factors at the same time. In pea plant, a character of yellow cotyledon is dominant over green cotyledon, and tallness of plant is dominant on dwarfness. So he took two parents, one which were tall and green cotyledon and another were dwarf and yellow cotyledon. In F1 generation, all the plants were tall and yellow. Just mind it. Here the sons and daughters are getting one character from the father, one character from the mother. And when in individuals of F1 generation a self cross was done, of F1 there was a cross between tall and yellow into tall and yellow. Then in four types of gametes were formed, and in F2 generation four types of offsprings were obtained, in which 9 were tall and yellow, 3 were tall and green, 3 were dwarf and yellow, and 1 was dwarf and green. Actually, Mendel had explained it in a branching fashion, but later on, Punnett gave a checkerboard system. Punnett's checkerboard system. And in Punnett's checkerboard system, he said that each parent, which were capital T, small t, capital Y, small v, y, capital T, small t, capital Y, small y, they could produce 4 types of gametes. And here, this also produced 4 types of gametes, this also produced 4 types of gametes. So total 16 types of offsprings were formed. And in this checkerboard, what you have to do is, first of all, you have to write this one in all the 4. Then this one in all the 4. This one in all the 4. This one in all the 4. And secondly, you have to do this one, you have to add in all these 4s. This one you have to add in all these 4s. This you have to add to all these 4s. This you have to add in all these 4s. Capital letter is to be written earlier and small letter is to be written afterwards. So this configuration occurs. And here the genotypic ratio was, let us see how many types of genotypes are there. This one, capital T, capital T, capital Y was single. Then 2, capital T, capital T, capital Y, small y. There were 2 such individuals. Then 1, capital T, small y. It was only 1. Then 2, capital T, capital Y, small y. 2. And then 4, capital T, capital Y, small y. 4 individuals of the same type. Then capital T, capital T, small y. 2. Then this one, small t, capital Y, only 1. Then small t, capital Y, small y, 2. And then small t, small y, only 1. Mind it that you have to not learn it. You have to perform it mechanically or mathematically. If you try to learn it, then in next chapter, interaction of genes, you will be confused. So you have to make a checkerboard in this fashion. And from this genotypic ratio, we can obtain phenotypic ratio. What is the external appearance of these plants? You can see here, these 1, 2, 4, 4, 8, and then 1. So 9 are tall yellow, 3 are tall green, 3 are dwarf yellow, and 1 is dwarf green. If you consider one pair of characters at the same time, here you can see tall plants are 9 plus 3, 12. Dwarf plants are 3 plus 1, 4. So ratio between tall and dwarf is 12 into 4, which is the same 3:1. If we consider in the same way ratio between yellow cotyledon 9 plus 3, 4, green cotyledon 3 plus 1, 4. So ratio between yellow and green is 12 into 4 is 3:1. So here we can see that even when we consider two pairs of factors together, each pair of factor shows the same behavior. It is not influenced by the presence of other factor. And so this is called law of independent assortment. So this was Mendel and Corren's laws of inheritance. And before coming to, there are two short notes. Sometimes short notes or some objective questions may be asked on this. So I would like to tell you about this. It is not part of Mendelism, but it is related with it simply. Back cross and test cross. Whenever an individual is crossed with an individual of a previous generation, it is called back cross. For example, when we talk about a cross is made between tall and dwarf, and in F1 all tall are obtained. Then this individual is crossed with this one. This one, or this is crossed with this one, capital T. So both are called back cross. And out of this one, which is done by recessive parent, it is called a test cross. So both these crosses are back cross. This one is test cross. Why it is called test cross? Because a recessive individual is always homozygous, small t, small t. But a dominant phenotype individual which is tall may be capital T or capital T, small t. Both show the same appearance externally. How to find it out? To find it out whether an individual which is showing the dominant character is homozygous or heterozygous, a test cross is performed. And in this test cross, by observing the phenotype of the offsprings, we can just calculate that whether that parent was homozygous or heterozygous. Let us see here. If the parent is homozygous, it will produce only one type of gamete, and this one will also produce only one type of gamete. They will combine together. So all tall individuals of only one type are obtained. Here only one type of individuals are obtained. This is established that well it is producing only one type of gamete. It means this is producing only one type of gamete, and if it is producing only one type of gamete, it should contain only one type of factors. It should be homozygous. In the other condition, let us see, if the individual is heterozygous, it will produce two types of gametes, capital T, small t. And when this will combine, it will form 50% tall individuals, 50% dwarf individuals. When two types of phenotypes are there in F2 generation, it means this one individual is producing two types of gametes. And when it is producing two types of gametes, it should contain both factors together. It should be heterozygous. So by observing the phenotype of these sons and daughters, we can become clear that well the individual is homozygous or heterozygous. So this much for the day. Thank you very much. I am thankful to all officers of Society of Career Technology and Jan Vikas Mahasabha. And due to their inspiration, this program could become successful, and I am thankful to you all students, my audience, that you took this interest in this program. Thank you very much.